Righty ho YouTube, Major Cord here, and as many of you know, I am a history major, and actually at this point a history education major, but I have an appreciation for all sorts of little knickknacks and pieces of Americana. And if there's one thing that can be said about America in the 20th century, it's that we smoked like chimneys. And I recently found an area where my love of Americana and my love of knives crossed, and those are in cigarette-branded knives. Now, a little bit of backstory to these. Cigarette companies have long been, I guess I could say, the scourge of American business. They are huge corporations that have a lot of impact on our economy, on our politics, and they are essentially the definition of evil. If you read into it, you really start to learn just how much impact tobacco companies really have on the American way of life. They sell a product that is disastrous to our health, yet the government still, in a way, subsidizes them. Even though it's been proven how terrible what they sell is. But talking about these knives specifically, they are advertising knives. As you can see, this Swiss Army knife is a Victorinox, I believe it's a Spartan, and it's advertising the Marlboro Adventure Team. And this was given away if you collected enough Marlboro miles, I believe, which were basically UPC codes from the back of your cigarette packs that you could mail in, and in exchange you'd get Marlboro Adventure Team gear. And this, along a similar vein, this original Leatherman pocket survival tool is embossed with the mark of the Marlboro Country Store. And now, I'm not going to do reviews of these individual tools. I will say that for old tools, these are early 90s. I believe the Adventure Team was something that was around like a little before I was born, so like 1991, 1992, that. And this Leatherman PST, it's probably not going to show in there, but this is labeled 794, so this is an 18-year-old Leatherman. But they are in excellent condition for how old they are. But the concept of cigarette advertising is something that a lot of people don't actually think of. And I wanted to really just show these off a bit and talk about that. I actually found an advertisement online, which I will link to in the description box. And it's an internal company, basically a sales pitch for this Marlboro Adventure Team. And it details how how the company is going to get smokers to take part in this. And as a non-smoker myself, I just find it hilarious that you're going to get people who smoke several packs a week or whatever to, take part in a Western journey or whatever. That's basically a whole athletic type of thing. But basically, the whole idea is that we're going to, with this Adventure Team thing, they were going to target 280,000, I believe the term was prospective candidates, and by that they mean underage smokers, essentially. So young boys who think it's cool to see people using kayaks and rafts and Swiss Army knives and all sorts of outdoor gear, and see it used by these people who happen to be using the Marlboro brand and Marlboro logo. And, by smoking these packs, we can get free shit. It's a really devious plan when you think of it. And the, just the way it's described, it kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies. And other companies did similar things. Camel cigarettes having the giant Joe Camel advertisements. It's a giant cartoon camel. Who is it going to appeal to? Obviously not 40-year-old smokers. But pieces of Americana like this I find just really cool, especially when you know the history behind them and why they exist. And obviously there are people who remember, the golden age of smoking in America. I thankfully came out on the tail end of that. But there were days, obviously, when cigarette ads in magazines were at full force and ads on television were legal. And things like the Marlboro Country Store were more prevalent, and you can really get, high quality Leathermans and all that willy-nilly like that. But I just thought I'd show these off. I probably actually haven't done a ton of talking about the tools themselves, but I may do a review on these individually someday. I'm just not really an expert with things like Leathermans. I just thought this was really cool, and it was pretty cheap too. I found this, I believe, for $10 on eBay. And given that I really enjoy older tools and older knives and stuff like that, a discontinued tool like this in really excellent condition, I think was just the bee's knees. I mean, the knife blade is a little dinged up, but other than that, this thing is in perfect condition. And this is a tool that's almost as old as me. It's just kind of cool to see the lineage, to me, of the Leatherman design. I mean, this is basically the original Leatherman, and my Leatherman of choice right now is one of the newest designs, the Sidekick. No, the Wingman. Yeah, the Wingman. And this is... it's cool to me to own this, especially something that's a little more rare, given that it has the... if it'll focus, that Marlboro country store logo there. And now I don't think I'm really going to start a giant collection of, knives that have, like, cigarette branding on them. Because if I start that, I'm going to have to collect, like, cigarette-branded Zippos, and obviously that falls into line with other smoking paraphernalia because, you need lighters to smoke. So that's going to take me forever. But I just thought these were two cool tools, and I keep bumping my little tripod here. But I thought these were two very cool tools that were in just prime condition, so I had to pick them up. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. This is probably a very random video, but hopefully someone got some enjoyment out of it. Check out the link down in the description box if you really want some interesting inside look into the cigarette industry. And there's a book also that I may or may not have mentioned in this video. I may not have thought it out too well. That I'll try to link in Amazon description too, if you want to read further into it. So, thanks very much for watching. Take care.